There you go. Officially on. Go ahead. All yours.
Hello and welcome to Right Voice for You intro. I'm Smriti Goswami and I'm a Right Voice for You facilitator. I've been a Right Voice for You facilitator for almost I think at least 2 years now. And what contribution can I be to you guys? I'm coming to Nagpur and I'm so looking forward to this class. Um, we can start with some questions if any one of you have and take it from there. I will be talking about what the class is all about, what all would entail, and how we'll go about it. So I will be talking all about that too. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to sort out something. Meanwhile, if any one of you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. Shweta, do you have any questions?
So, I have a share rather than questions.
Yeah.
So I have attended this class earlier, and I just wanted to share that it really shifted a lot for me. So I went in with no expectation, really. Like there wasn't any agenda as to what I want to show up, what it's going to change for me. I'm sorry. Or, you know, how you walk into a class thinking that this is a problem I have to address. So I had no problem as such. It was just that I was always a tug towards this class, and I just chose it. I was like, okay, I'm coming. And really, what it shifted for me, I can't put in words. And particularly after that, if people want to know the
Which one? You want to say something? Go ahead.
Khushbu was saying
You there?
something, she's not here.
Okay, now I can hear you properly, Shweta. Can you just say what you said earlier? Your
Ah,
voice was all
okay.
garbled.
Oh, you couldn't hear me properly. My
Yeah,
God, the world is not ready to receive my voice yet. Right. So this is one thing that shifted for me was that not going into the wrongness of anything, and even if I've conked off, even if people are not willing to hear me, I'm willing to talk. I'm willing to say anything that is fun for me, that's joyful for me. And one thing that I've seen is with people, I've seen a lot of people who want to, come in front of people and talk and say things. So I would like you to talk about that, Smriti, like what this class changes. And I know it changes a lot of stuff for me. So I'm so looking forward to this class with you. And
I'm yeah, go ahead.
no, I want you to tell us what you can change with the wise. How magical is you and how magical is the class?
Okay, so I'll share what got me into this class, and maybe that might motivate or inspire you guys to choose this class. Um, for the I am like I'm so good at being invisible and not being seen, and you know that's one of my forte, I can say.
Really?
And I didn't even realize that I was doing that all these years.
Okay.
And till I chose to attend the Right Voice View class, long back, somewhere way back in, I think, 2016 with Blossom. She was here in Mumbai. So I went and did everything, all the levels up to the facilitators level as well. And so she was all the time calling up people on the stage and getting them to dance or speak or whatever, or maybe sing. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to go up on the stage. That's something I used to just run away from. So I was like, okay, I'll just sit here and I'll experience the class, and that's it. I'll take whatever I have to, but there's no way I'm going up on the stage. So she would like scan the whole room for all the participants, and energetically she would just invite them over for the class or on the stage. And I was like, no way, I mean, she shouldn't just even see me. So it's only during the facilitators class, which was almost a week later, okay, is and I was attending the class of all these days, is when she like, okay, hey, where did you come from? Have you been attending all the other classes of Right Voice, all the other levels? I said, yeah, I've been here from the beginning. And she's like, no, but I just noticed you. I just saw you. And I was like, oh shit. And then she's the one who said, like, okay, you have an amazing ability to make yourself invisible. It's an art. And now would you like to come up on the stage? And I was like, oh no, not me. But I was like, okay, let's just go. But when I went there, I just used all the tools that she'd been describing all these days in the class. And she's like, would you like to sing? I was like, not really. She's okay, introduce yourself. Tell us more about you. So I just stood there and I was like, okay, hello everyone, and I'm so and so. I'm Smriti Goswami, and I'm a qualified pilot, and this and this and this. And I just started off, and I realized the level of ease I had and the confidence with which I spoke on stage. And I was really, really surprised at myself. And then she was like, okay, now would you like to sing? I said, I don't enjoy singing, so so she didn't make me wrong for that. And she's like, okay, I get that. Like, it's good. And I don't think I really need to work on you. You're good to go. And I was like, okay. But what that moment on the stage did for me was all these while I've been attending a whole lot of access classes with a lot of people, but they didn't even know me, right? That's when they started coming up and they actually wanted to say hello to me and hug me and speak with me. And I was like, what just changed in that one moment, right? So that's the power of the right voice for you. Of
Absolutely.
course, she was working on me on my back. She was doing some sort of an SOP thing, but yeah. So something shifted for me then, and I did not choose to facilitate the right voice week class at that time because I thought I still wasn't ready. I thought, you know how you tend to judge yourself the most? And but I did start using the tools and I started being more visible everywhere. Like, people started knowing me, recognizing me. So those are the things that started shifting for me ever since I did the Right Voice Week class. Another thing, almost a year later, a few months later, is when I became the Joy Business Facilitator. And I was invited for a Zoom call. It was a book club. And I just thought, okay, we have to get up there and read the book. But that book club was all about facilitation. Okay. And I was pitched against, not against, I mean, there were just few more facilitators there who were part of that Zoom call. And I just went blank. I don't know. Somewhere, you tend to make others greater than you because you feel they've been in the field for a longer time. So I just went blank at that moment. Luckily, the other facilitators sort of took charge and they didn't really make it look uncomfortable or anything. But by the end of the call, I was like, what just happened? Right? And that's when I decided I don't care how it happens, whatever it takes. I'm choosing to be a right voice for you facilitator because if this is what is stopping me, I have to overcome that. So you need to realize that whenever there's something that's stopping you, something that you're fighting against, something that's uncomfortable, choose to jump the cliff. That's it. So that's when I just decided and I chose to be a right voice for you facilitator. And a lot of things shifted for me since then. So that's what I'm inviting you to just come, give it a chance, see what it starts creating for you. This is a class like no other, no other. Seriously, it's about accessing all your abilities, everything possible, everything that you've judged yourself for, everything that you've kept hidden from yourself. It just gives you access to all that.
That's so brilliant. Thank
It's a
you for
beautiful, beautiful class.
that. Awesome. So, anyone here have any other questions for Smriti? Do you want to know more about what this class is about? Uh, Rather, would you like to ask her right now, maybe, what is it that you would like to change in your lives? With your voice, with you showing up in the world, with anything else? Anyone have a question? Vasudha says your vulnerability and your grit and how you just choose and magic unfolds is so awesome and inspiring. Awesome, Smriti.
Thank you, Vasudha. And so Vasudha just recently attended a class with me, a right voice Week class. Maybe she might want to say something about it.
Is she here, Vasudha? Would you like to switch on your camera and tell us how that experience? I believe Vasudha's son Nikhil also attended the class with you, right?
Yes, he did too. Yeah.
Vasudha, come on.
Yeah, I want to share about my son first that this is the only access class that he chose on his own and he had actually participated. And in 2 days, I think very diligently he did all the exercises, homework, and in class, whatever he was asked to do. And he's 11. And the kind of shift I have seen in him is like really literally overnight. And I always remain grateful to him and to Smriti for choosing it. And the way Smriti was with him, like it's just, I'm just, I'm just so grateful. Like, and I can't even explain it in words because it's a lot of it is not tangible. But being his mother, I just know that, I mean, he's so comfortable in his skin. He's so confident. He and because he's so comfortable in his skin, I am not so I'm not worried about him as a mom as anymore about, because I always had this thing that because he doesn't go to school and he doesn't have many friends, he's shy, he's in a shell. But through whatever he went through, and Smith, some very pertinent questions Smithy asked him, and it was really beautiful because she asked him in front of me, I got aware of certain things, and he also acknowledged. So it was really like, when you don't treat children as some sweet cute kids, and you treat them as infinite beings who are willing to acknowledge and let go of stuff. It's such a gift. And that I love about Smriti. She does not belittle or like kids just because they are kids. And that's such so I would say that anybody, everybody who's choosing this class, take your kids along, niece, nephew, anybody who's there, just
Yeah.
really, I think it's such a gift. And for me also, I never realized that when you go through those exercises and tools and the questions she'll ask you, then you realize how much you've been stifling your voice. And because a lot of people tell me, oh, just because you're communicative, it does not mean you have a voice. And just because you're silent or don't talk too much does not mean that you don't have a voice. That is something I've really acknowledged in this 3 day class. So, whatever decisions and projections you already have about having a voice, I would say that just clear them and just go for the class. Because I used to think that, oh, I don't really have an issue, but in relationships, in so many relationships, you're not willing to lose, you choose to lose your voice. And
Absolutely.
all the exercises, and I mean, there's so much more I can just go on, but then I'll just hog the whole. But this class
Finally
is,
got
I
your
think
voice,
everybody should
Smriti.
just do this class.
Smriti, you should have been careful while handing her voice. Right?
Thank you so much,
That's so
Vasudha.
beautiful, Vasudha.
Thank you. So I'll just there's this quote that I love. It's from Christopher Hughes, and he says, if you make some colors right and some wrong, you start to limit and diminish colors on your palette. So you need to. So the thing is, the moment you start judging yourself, where you feel, okay, maybe this aspect about me is not good enough, or maybe if I do this, then I'll be good enough. Don't wait for that. Just start choosing, just start being there. Be willing to be judged, be willing to be vilified. It doesn't matter. As long as you are there for yourself and you have faith in your capabilities, things just start moving and showing up dynamically for you. So that's what it will get created. Can you hear me clearly? I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, your voice suddenly went a little soft. I think,
Okay,
can you?
now can you hear me? Is it clear now?
It's clear, but we could do it a little louder. In the recording, I
Yes.
think we need to.
I'll come a little closer to the.
Yeah. Come close. We want you close. Okay. So I have a question, Smriti.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
you're calling the class right voice for you, and a lot of people are a little curious about what do you mean when you say voice, because a lot of your pictures about the class have paintings. So is it about singing? It's about coming on stage that you were talking about, or is it what Vasudha was saying, just being? What is when you what does it mean when you say right voice for you?
Uh, so for me, right voice means being willing to receive yourself without any judgments, no
Wow.
matter what. No matter what. So as I mentioned earlier, like, when if you make some colors right or some colors wrong, you start to limit and diminish the colors on your palette. So if you are judging yourself, you are limiting yourself. You start, what if you were willing to be seen as what you are, who you are, without any judgments? It doesn't matter who thinks what about you, as long as you are there for yourself. If you have your back, I think right voice for you also in a way means having your back. You
Okay.
choosing to have your back, right? Being willing to be seen with the vulnerable, whatever it is, vulnerability, whatever it is that is about you, just be willing to be seen. It's okay if people judge you. Just
Wow.
be willing to receive the judgments, turn those judgments around 180 degrees to make money for you. Just enjoy being judged. All that has changed for me. I would be the last one to be, judged, or I would not do things because people would judge me. So everything has changed for me. I am a very, very different person now. So that's
Awesome.
what I'm inviting you to. Also,
I just got a phrase you said. Turn the judgment around so that it can make you money. What do you mean when you say that?
so be willing to receive the judgment. The thing is, the moment someone is judging you, you put up a barrier right ahead of you, right? Now, what if you get rid of those barriers, let them go, and just give me a minute. Okay. So, okay. So turn those judgments around. Even if someone is judging you, just lower your barriers. Do not block all the good things coming your way, and just turn them around 180 degrees to make money for you. Because you know how Gary says, each judgment that you receive, you make $5,000 that year, and each time you block a judgment or you resist or react to a judgment, you lose $10,000. So what would you rather have? You'd rather make money, right? And that's it. It's okay.
What?
Also, judgment is a way that people use. Judgment is something people use to control you. And why would you want to be controlled anyways? They will judge you so that they can control you, so that you don't be too much. If someone is judging you, turn it up even more. Be willing to be even more, and not let anyone stop you, no matter what. So that's what right voice for you is. Like, you don't let anybody stop you, no matter what.
Wow.
You're there, being there, totally present with yourself and receiving you, no matter. Even if there's nobody there for you, you be willing to be there for yourself.
That is so awesome. That is so brilliant. Thank you.
You asked about the paintings. Okay, so I have a painting right behind. There's a horse that's been painted by me. So right voice for you is also about finding your voice in everything that you do,
Okay.
whether it's in relationships, whether it is when you are walking down the road, or even when you walk into a room and you just own it, making your presence felt. That's what right voice for you is all about. And in my case, I at times in like this particular class, I would be including painting also, because that's something I love doing. And it's about how you will be creating the painting without any judgments, whether you know how to paint or not. We will be going through the entire thing. You can choose the painting you want, or you can just go ahead with whatever I'll be making. And I'm creating points of view every 10 seconds. So no matter what you decided the painting would be, it'll turn out to be something more dynamic, much more fabulous, and that's what you get created with that. So it's just an invitation for you to explore another nuance about yourself. So
Wow.
I love that.
So what else are we going to do these 3 days? So a little bit of it is going to be painting, but what else are we going to do? You're going to teach us to own the room and to be what? Control freaks.
So yeah, I'm gonna make sure that by the end of the class, you everywhere you've been controlling yourself, everywhere you've been limiting yourself, everywhere you're choosing to be small and less and diminished version of you. I'm going to unearth all that and just make you realize that, okay, cool, there's so much more to you that even you, what you're even not willing to see. So, right voice for you is also about uh, recognizing and acknowledging and actually making people see not the limited version that they choose to see of themselves, but the more dynamic, greater version of themselves. So,
Wow.
that's what I would be introducing you to, and with a lot of ease.
Awesome. So if you don't want that, don't come to class.
Yeah, why?
Choose
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Don't choose the class. You'd rather be limited. It's okay. It's okay. We are an allowance. But if you are choosing to be greater, don't miss the class.
So can I ask you? I mean, it's more like I want to know how many of us actually stop ourselves. Like we've been talking about, not being willing to be present in our relationships so much, so that so many times we fear that we're going to lose these people, or we don't want to do things that are going to upset them. And that is where so many times we lose what we call our own voice, where we can't even hear it ourselves.
So sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Sorry,
no.
I interrupted.
Oh, I know you got what I'm asking. I'd like to hear what you have to say.
My question to you would be to everyone, whoever is asking a question about losing themselves in a relationship. My question to you all would be: are you willing to be the aggressive presence? Now, aggressive presence doesn't mean that you become a lion and you're just there like that shouting. It's that being willing to be that lion energy or that aggressive energy where nobody can just walk over you. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you allow yourself to be treated like a doormat and not have your voice where it's required. Be willing to be present with the person concerned. Be willing to be present with all of them, and yet be willing to have your voice. It can show up in a very dynamic way. It doesn't have to be always like aggressive, or you don't have to shout at someone, or you don't have to be rude or nasty or mean with anyone, but you can still choose to be yourself and not lose yourself. So that's what we would be introducing in the right voice for you.
So could you give the people here a small little tool which would explain to them what aggressive presence is like? Uh, you know,
Okay,
yeah, because sometimes we don't get it. What is it? How do you do it?
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So this happened with me when I had to choose a maestro last year, and I had to travel to Rome for that, and that was last September. And just as luck would have it, my husband also chose the same dates to go on a trek with his cousins. Okay, and he we usually we make sure that if either one of us is traveling, we just sort of coordinate and make sure that now one of us is always at home with our daughters so that the dates don't clash. But he didn't ask me because he never really thought I would be traveling, and he's still getting used to me working and traveling so much. So he's like, no, you don't have to go, right? It's not a license that you have to renew, so it's not important. And I was like, no, it is important to me. I would like to choose maestro. And so he's like, I told him, I said, you did not ask me before choosing the dates of the trek, and you can always change the trek dates because the maestro class is just once a year with a fixed date. So he's like, no, this, he started off that, how much I've supported you and a whole lot of other things. And I was like, well, I've also supported. And he's like, okay. So you see, the whole conversation was going, like taking a different tangent at that moment. Both of us were getting angry. And I realized that wouldn't work, right? So he said, he said, you've been traveling a lot. I said, so are you. You travel so much. He's a pilot with Air India, so he travels almost every week. Okay, he's traveling. He's in different country every week. So he's like, but that's my job. And I was like, okay, when will you realize that this is my job? So it took him a while to realize that, okay, cool. Now, I have to deal with my wife working. So it wasn't an easy situation. It's not easy for a guy to just suddenly, take it that, okay, his wife is now working. And when he's so used to having her around all the time. So I realized that this argument wasn't going anywhere. So I just lowered my barriers. But, I still kept choosing me over everything else. But at that moment, I did not argue with him. I just lowered my barriers and I started pulling energy from him. And in less than 10 minutes, I let him say whatever he was saying. I just kept quiet. I kept pulling energy, lowered my barriers. I just kept doing that. In less than 10, in fact, less than 7 minutes, he just said, okay, cool, I'm gonna opt out of it. And he actually took the phone and he messaged his cousin and he's like, I can't make it for this trip. Something's come up, I won't be able to join. And interestingly, his cousin replied, right? He's like, is this personal or is it professional? And I was like, really need for him to write that. But the thing is, when he was leaving, first of all, I couldn't believe how easy it was. The thing is, you don't have to shout and create a scene. You can still be that aggressive presence where you're still choosing yourself.
Yeah.
In that relationship, okay? And so much so that the person realizes your point of view also and he chooses accordingly. He was leaving on his flight and he was looking at the bag that was packed for his trekking and he's like, should I take it? Shouldn't I? I was like, just go ahead and take it and we'll see what's to be done. And as luck would have it, his mom chose to come here and be with our daughter. Yeah. So both of us could travel.
That is so awesome.
So that's what it is. You don't lose yourself in a relationship. Be willing to have your voice. Stand up for yourself. That conviction of you choosing something is what people are looking for. Don't stop choosing for you, no matter what.
Yeah, because the point of view in this reality is that if you're choosing for you, then you're choosing against someone else. So how many of us believe that and give up? Or so like it's either him or me. There could be a possibility where both the people in a relationship could receive, and that's so beautiful. Thank you. So
you realize also that he was looking at the bag, the trekking bag that was packed, and I could have, if I was in, at no moment was I insecure. I knew I would still choose myself, right? And I asked him to go ahead and take that still. Yeah. He could have changed his mind. He could have said, hey, you know what? Doesn't matter. I'm choosing the trek. He could have turned around or whatever. But I was willing to deal with that because I knew I'm choosing for me, no matter what. So you don't stop. So as you mentioned, just because you're choosing for you doesn't mean it has to be choosing against anyone else. Yeah. Everyone can choose. There's always a solution.
And I want to know what that changed for your daughter also, because when you're choosing your voice and when you're choosing to be you also without dishonoring the other person in the relationship, what future and what space are you creating for your children? My daughter is going to be attending the class too, by the way. I'm like, I really want her to. What would it take?
I'm looking forward to meeting both your daughters. Seriously, really looking forward. And let them know I'm a major fan of their baking and all the stuff that they keep making. The macaroons look so tempting.
Thank you.
So yeah, let them know that. So couple of years ago when I'd gone for the tour business training, okay, and I was traveling and my family was joining me a little later. What happened was my brother, he's planning to write a book. And so he asked my daughter a question. He's like, who inspires you? So he was actually asking because maybe he thought she'll name some sportswoman or something, So she just said, okay, my mom. So he was very pleasantly surprised. And he's like, okay, so what inspires you about your mom? And he's like, the fact that she stands up for herself.
Wow.
My daughter said that the fact that my mom chooses to stand up for herself is what inspires me about her. And so you have no idea when kids are actually observing you, watching you, and learning from you. So if you are choosing greater for yourself, you are inspiring your whole family to choose more for themselves, no matter what. So every time I achieve something, every time there's an article that comes up, my kids are my biggest cheerleaders. So yeah, that's what it inspires.
That's beautiful. And I'd also like to let you guys know that Smriti is, like she said, a Joy of Business facilitator. She's a Being You certified facilitator. She's a Talk to the Entities facilitator. And there's another one, right? Right Voice for You definitely is then. She's a certified facilitator, obviously. There's another one, right? Which what am I missing? So she's
Um,
Joy of Business. Yeah. Did I say
Joy,
that?
Joy of
Okay.
Business, right voice for you, talk to the entities, and being you.
Amazing. And yeah, I wonder how much of that energy also is going to ooze into the, like, I'm so ready for all of those energies. Like, how much of that is going to ooze into the Right Voice for You class? So, we're going to be changing our money situation, we're going to be changing our relationship situations. And what else, Smriti? What else? Guys, I'm the only one who's talking. And does anyone have a question? So, otherwise, you can't stop me, really. Like, I'm going to keep
I
asking.
I I have a
Hi,
question,
Kushbu, go
please.
on.
Go ahead.
The right voice for you, na? मुझे you had sent a link together with it.
Yes.
Yeah, the Gary one, changing voice
I
in.
I called you up to let you know Smriti is coming, and you said I'll let you know.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to know about the voice thing. I have always wanted to sing, and I really am very, very, very low on confidence. कि I can sing. So that is the only thing which attracts me for right voice for
Before
you.
Smriti says anything, can I share what changed for me? Like I learned to sing on in front of people after this class. Like the first day I couldn't open my mouth, and I used to be one person who would like dread. You know, we used to sit in groups and people would pass mics, and I would be like, don't bring the mic to me. I can't sing."
Yeah, I mean, even the if the mic is in front of me, I cannot sing. I'm really bad singer.
Yeah,
That is,
I know that. But I can vouch for that. I know Smriti can change that if you want to come. But now, Smriti, all yours. I'm sorry. I just wanted to just let people know. I can sing right now for you if you want, by the way.
wow.
It changes. Smriti, what do you have to say?
So, Kushbu, thanks for that question. So, basically, the only thing stopping you from actually singing is the judgment about your voice, which is what we
Yeah,
and how you. There are certain tools that you can use. There are certain different kinds of energy pulls that you can use to start creating those changes in your voice, and how it is. I cannot actually give away the class. It's something really, really interesting. But there are ways where musicians all over the world, those that you admire, and you pull the energy of how they use or what are they being when they are singing, and you just pull it into your space and you sing with that from that space.
yeah,
That gets started. It really, really creates a lot of difference. Also, we will be, calling you up on the stage and
Yeah.
yeah,
You don't have to if you don't want to.
and
Does
I'll
she
be
have
working
to?
on you. Also, I'll be working on you at that moment. I'll be there with you. If you want, I'll sing along with you, whatever it takes. But so we'll go ahead. Just know there's a lot of fun. This particular class is a lot of fun. It's not going to be just sitting and just learning things. It's more interactive class where the previous class had two aspiring actresses, and we were working on them, like with them, along with them, and it was so beautiful with the kind of energy that was showing up and how we could use the tools with them.
Yeah.
yeah. But I actually went to musician, and I matlab, Sir Tate, music teacher, I suppose. He said, I don't think you can ever sing. ठीक
Wow.
है, you want to try for some time, do the guitar, do the piano first, case whatever it is called. And I did it for 3-4 days, and then I was like, I myself feel okay, it's really bad.
Khushbu, what do you know? Always, always, always trust yourself. What do you
Yeah,
know?
but that is what I'm saying. I know I'm really bad at singing. That is the only thing which is stopping me to sing.
Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
Can you see the thing right there? Okay, that
Mhm.
pause. Would you believe if I tell you that 4 to 5 years ago, I never knew? Nobody's taught me. I just started painting. Okay, I've always wanted to paint, but I judged myself, and because my mom is an amazing artist, and I've always watched her paint all all the time. Her or just being close to her is when I start painting. Okay, that's the reason I took up painting. And I used to collect a lot of different photographs of different paintings, and I used to be like, okay, if I ever make a painting, it has to be so dynamic, it has to be so great, and it has to be perfect. What I let go after before I get into that, just a few days, like a few years ago, I conducted an art workshop with street kids. Okay, and the joy that I could sense with them around, and the way they were painting. I just made a small painting, like a demo painting, within 10 minutes for them. And I was like, I invited them to maybe copy the same thing or choose whatever it is they want to. I just showed them a few techniques. They loved making those paintings, and the joy that they had at that moment, that sense of total bliss, is what I wanted to incorporate, because they were not looking at being perfect, they were just being in that moment and enjoying. If you could start choosing to sing by being in the moment and actually enjoying the process of singing instead of waiting for others to judge you or pull you down, why would you give anybody the power to pull you down? Why?
But yeah, but others aren't pulling me down. I myself, when I start singing, I feel, please stop. That is my own.
So, okay, Khushbu, come to the class and we'll work on this.
Yes, I would love to work for this. This is one dream I want to live. Okay, I can sing.
Come to the class.
Literally.
We'll definitely work on this.
Yes, 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 surely.
Having said that, I used to judge myself for public speaking. Like, I thought I used to dread speaking in public. That's one major. Like, my knees literally would start shaking if anyone asked me to go on stage. And what changed for me after the Right Voice View facilitator training this last year in Rome was, I came back and I actually addressed over 250 final year engineering students and some MBA students in a college in Delhi. And I actually spoke to them about public speaking. I got a few people on the stage, and you should have seen the transformation and change in them. So, and I was like, I did not have any script, I did not have any tools, nothing. I just started speaking. And end of the day, I was like, wow, that was fun, right? So this is what starts changing.
Okay.
Come to the class, Khushbu. It'll be
Yes.
there.
Yes, 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 surely.
Do you have any more questions, Khushbu?
No, thank you. My kids are here. I need to.
You're so welcome. So anyone else, guys, have any other questions that you want to?
Like I need it.
Okay, cool. So anyone else have any other questions, guys? Smriti, what else would you like to tell people here? We're having a class in Nagpur, guys, 27th, 28th, and 29th of this month, which isn't very far away. And Smriti is going to be here. Today is what? 24th. Oh, it's just 3 days away. 2 days away, actually. Oh, wow. No wonder I'm like so excited. I was excited. I was wondering why. Okay. So, anything else you would like to add, Smriti? Because nobody else is asking a question. Guys, come on. No, nothing. There's nothing you want to change with showing up in the world with any one of you have any desires or dreams to, to be like on stage or like sing like Khushbu was saying, or to walk into a room with that, orgasmic quality that people turn around and look at you. What is your secret fantasy? And anyone have anything there that you want to ask Smriti about your secret fantasy? No? Okay. Cool.
So I'd like to add something here. This is not just about performing on stage or just about your voice in the relationship. This is willing to make your presence felt in the world, no matter in which context it is, whether it's in your own house, with your own family, in the relationships, in the classes that you facilitate, or the workplace, wherever you work. It's about being willing to be seen, recognized, and acknowledged. And it starts by you valuing yourself, right? Now, one more thing I would like to, just one little thing I'd like to ask is, so how many times we think of leaders that sort of inspire you? Okay, let's take for example, for Khushbu, actually, this particular thing is for Khushbu, all and for everyone else. If you look at Andrea Bocelli, he's a famous, very, very famous Italian singer, and he is blind. Okay. Now the thing is, what you need to realize is he sings beautifully, but the thing is, he chose not to let his limitations stop him. The fact that he couldn't see, he did not limit himself with just that okay, now I can't see, I'm not good enough. He still chose to make his presence felt in whatever way he could, whether he could see or not, whether other things were visible to him or not. He chose to be visible to the world.
Wow.
So where are you limiting yourself, and where are you not willing to step out and be seen in every aspect of your life?
So also, I don't know if this question is relevant or not, but yeah, what just came to me was so many times it's so comfortable and convenient for us to hide, like you were talking about at the beginning of the call. You were talking something about hiding, and I can't recall what it was. But we get so comfortable being in our own skin that, why would I want to step out? Why would I want to be seen? Why would I want to make my presence felt? And so many of us have the point of view that I'm okay where I am, So what do you have to say to that?
So where are you not willing to acknowledge yourself here in every aspect of your life? Where are you waiting for others to validate you? Sometimes you'd rather choose not to be seen because you're still seeking validation from others. Like, for example, Khushbu mentioned that she's choosing not to sing because someone or her instructor or someone mentioned that she's not good enough. Now, don't let other people's validations or invalidation stop you from choosing what you can. Be willing to be seen. And I'll give an example. I love giving examples, and I usually give my own examples. Hiding is usually a judgment of yourself, where you are judging yourself so dynamically, where you are just so aware of other people's judgments about you, and where you're choosing to be perfect. So when every time you're speaking, you're like looking at being perfect. So that's your own self-judgment that stop you, and you'd rather hide so that you don't expose yourself to the world, so that nobody can judge you and then or invalidate you. It's invalidation from which you hide mostly. And when I was mentioning about that Zoom call, it just so happened that I got invited to be part of the Access India show as a guest speaker. And believe me, I was just sitting there in front of the computer and with my one hand on the mouse, on the computer mouse, and with the arrow pointed at leave the meeting. Okay. And I was like, the moment I announce my name, I'm going to leave the meeting, and I'll just say, okay, there's some problem with the internet. Okay. So I think Tulika was introducing me, and she just sort of took me by surprise. I didn't realize when she introduced, and suddenly it was like, okay, Smriti Goswami. And I was like, oh, it was like, I was just totally caught off guard. So I couldn't leave the meeting on time. So I started only with that, talk about not being willing to be seen. My computer mouse was pointed, and the arrow was pointed at leave the meeting, and I was like, just leave. And the moment I mentioned that, there were so many people on the chat started mentioning, yeah, what is it about hiding? I'm also like that. Now I was responding, oh yeah, I have to facilitate them. So then it stopped being about me. The entire conversation became about them and how I could facilitate them to choose greater and don't give up and you have to be seen and stuff. And I realized, okay, it was just, instead of me, what others are also going through, and how you can inspire.
Hesitate to really go onto the mic, let alone public speaking.
Okay, what's your question here? Kanika, where did you disappear?
Okay, I can't see Kanika. I just logged back in. I think I was also thrown off. So I can't see her. Kanika, are you there? Yeah, the world doesn't want to hear the voice, our voices. But are we still willing to see? And I'm going to come back on every time I log off. Okay, I'm sorry. I missed the conversation. I'm just having some fun. Kanika's back. Kanika. And she's off again. Okay.
You had to leave, Shweta, right? So
No, yeah, I have to leave in just about 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's what. So is Kanika there?
Yeah, I'm there.
What was your question, Kanika?
Sorry, I got a call because of which the Zoom call got cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Smriti, my voice is not allowing me to actually approach the mic and say what I want to say. I hesitate a lot because of that harshness in the voice. It's just the voice, basically. It's not that, sweet voice.
What is the question?
Oh.
So, Kanika, whatever you're telling me right now is just conclusions that you have about your voice and why you should not be in front of the mic. How does it matter?
No, I can't change my voice. My question, I can't even ask you a question like, how can I change my voice? I can ask you that. The thing is,
what if we could guide you for that? What if you don't have to change your voice, but what if you could make it more mellifluous?
Yeah, how do I do that?
Yeah, you'll have to come for the class.
What did you just say? Say that again. I don't think anyone heard it. Mellifluous, is that what you said?
Yeah.
What is that?
So that's the softness and the sing-song voice that you have that invites people to keep listening to you.
Is it the voice? Is it the voice or the contents that I have to say, which has to be mellifluous, whatever.
Mellifluous.
Voice. So I can give you a clearing for that. Even if you're not choosing the class, I can still give you a clearing.
Awesome. Let's have it.
What energy, space, and consciousness can I and my body be to be as mellifluous as I truly be for all eternity? Everything that doesn't. So let me do it for you. Like I just ended up doing it for myself. So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to have your voice be as mellifluous as it truly be for all eternity? And everything that doesn't allow that with total ease, will you not just try and uncreate that, please?
Yes.
Right, from good, bad, hot, all and shots, boys and beyonds. That's
okay.
Given to me by Dane because I was like, nobody listens to me. So I want to be visible, to be heard. So he's like, start asking this.
Thank you. That's so awesome.
So has that changed in something in you?
Of course, a lot. The fact that I'm here conducting the Zoom call is proof enough. Otherwise, I would be the first one to leave and hide and keep pretending that there's something wrong with my internet and just moving away. I mean, at this moment, I'm right here. Otherwise, earlier, I would look at everyone and I would get such a download of information about what's going on in their life and I would just blank out. That has changed. Being on the stage also has changed because I don't blank out anymore. I'm aware, okay, these are the judgments. Okay, cool, interesting point of view. I just let it flow past me. That's it. There are a whole lot of tools. There are a whole lot of tools in this class. It is very, very dynamic. It's very, very interactive. There are from walking, how to walk in a particular way, how to, be a walking, talking magnet of possibilities from where people just can't take their eyes off you. You walk into the room, you own it. That's what this class is all about. And
Awesome.
of course, if you want to singing, dancing, you want to public speaking, being visible, whatever it is, you name it, it's there. This class contains everything possible.
So what I've understood is this class is more about you starting to show up as you, even when you don't know what that is so many times. Is that correct? And it might just surprise you. Like, please, I would say, don't come to the class with any expectations, and you can receive more. And trust me, guys, this is one of my favorite classes. It's like it just changed. It like touched something inside to the point where first day I couldn't open my mouth, and I was invited to stage to sing. I could not, and by the third day, um, I just had tears running down my eyes, and I was just, I didn't care who was listening to me, not listening to me, and all that I was doing was enjoying my own voice, enjoying whatever was coming out of my mouth, whichever way it was coming out of my mouth. And I think there was so much of a release of judgment of me that I didn't even know I had. So, this class has such a fondness for me personally, that there's such a deep connect. And I'm so grateful for the tools, and I'm so grateful for you, Smriti, to actually say yes to coming to Nagpur. And I wonder, what would it take? You guys, all of you are invited to come here. She's in Bombay. You can choose that class there. But I am very warmly inviting you to this orange city of Nagpur. You're welcome. I'll be happy to host you guys here, show you around if you like, arrange other things after the class, after the painting, after the singing, after the yummy food. Um, these classes are amazing, and I am just going to repeat that one more time, that this is one of my personal favorites. I'm sorry for kind of being repetitive, or not. I'm not sorry.
I'll just add something here,
Yeah.
Shweta. It's also about getting you to see yourself as how people perceive you, or how people see you. You're not even willing at time. Most of the times, we don't even acknowledge all that we are because we've been so busy judging ourselves.
Yeah.
This class invites you to actually start seeing yourself through other people's eyes and recognizing the gift that you are to them. So
Awesome.
that's what it is. And of course, this in this particular class, I'll be getting canvases and easels and everything. And on the last day, we will also paint. You have a choice, whatever it is you want to make. It's just play around with the paints. Be willing to create a painting and your own masterpiece that you'd like to take back home without any judgments. Just there's a particular method in which we'll be painting, where you'll be destroying and uncreating a whole lot of points of view about your painting, and it'll turn out to be something very, very different.
Awesome. So, Smriti, is there anything else you would like to add to this, or do we call it a call and say bye now?
I think I'm done.
Awesome.
Look forward to seeing all of you. Seriously, would love to meet all of you, each one of you. Thank you so much for being part of this call today. I really had a blast talking to you and sharing everything from my own personal experiences, and what invitation and what inspiration can I be, and what contribution can I be to you all and to this class.
Awesome. Thank you so much for choosing to be on this call with us. Thank you for sharing what you shared. Thank you for the clearing. And we look forward to seeing you guys, all of you here or wherever you choose the class with her. I wonder what this can change for you. And love you guys for showing up, for being who you truly be. And every day, we know that you're making some choice that is changing the world. So keep choosing, keep being the magic that you are. And see you guys somewhere soon or in this class. You don't know what this could change for you. So thank you, Smriti. And I'm going to say bye, good night, have a lovely weekend, and bye-bye. And get in touch with me if you're coming for the class. I will make arrangements for you to stay, to come, to enjoy, right? Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.